that intro, there was Victoria's Secrets. And as I say, if you have any topics, anything at all, um, just put in the comments down below, and I'll have my wee discussion about it. If you're new to the channel, this channel, and please like, subscribe, whatever. I don't know. Um, if you're new to the channel, this is just where I talk about stuff, like ideas, thoughts. Put it out there. Maybe something hits a nerve. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you don't. Whatnot. Let us know. Right. So in this world, we have leaders. We have, bishops and people of God, and we have mayors and sheriffs, and we have the police, we have governments, and all that sort of stuff, right? We have people on TV, and we have prophets, and messiahs. And before I talk about that thing, because just something came to mind, and as I say, I always speak what's in my mind. I was watching a program the other day there, and it's about this Chinese woman, could be Japanese, I'm not sure, and she's got this art of tidying the house. But as she's tidying the house, she does a wee prayer before. She blesses the house and stuff. And as she folds the clothes away, she thanks the clothes for being so special to us, right? To the wearer, to somebody that had some sort of joy out of it. So the person thanks the shirt, and it either goes and is kept, or it goes to charity or something. So you minimise it. But it's what I found, and to be honest, for something that simple, right? I found truth in it, because really we take everything in our house, very personally. My shirt, oh, that's my favourite t-shirt, that's my favourite shirt. Belonging stuff that really is material, and we have an affection for it, because it either kept us cold, it kept us cool, it kept us warm. It was with us through the best of times, through the worst of times. We just have this affection for inanimate objects, and stuff that we wear. And people around the world, as I say, they talking about inanimate objects. They love things. They literally love things that can be just a weird thing, but they've somehow mentally, because we're all screwed up in the head. But that's because we're not. Most of us are not wired right. But I can sense and who's to say that's the wrong thing to do? It's an experience of love, and that it belongs to you, and when you care for it, you iron it, you wash it, everything else. And so as he tidies the house, and then once the house is tidy, you love it even more. It lifts your spirits and brings the old flame back to the relationship. And I just found it quite, there is a lot of truth to it. And the house probably reflects how you're feeling, how you are in the world today. And so now it's going to sort of drift off to the subject I was going to talk about, because you could relate it to it. And so we'll look for these leaders, these prophets, and everything else, to tell us what to do, how to feel, what's right, what's wrong, you know, what's the right thing to love and what's the wrong thing to love and everything else. And it's like we don't have our own say. We rely on these people. And I remember an episode, I remember the film The Life of Brian. And they had these different people claiming to be the next Messiah. Right? And one person shouting out stuff, and then they question it. So, yeah, he speaks a lot of sense, we'll follow him. Then they go to another person. No, wait a minute, he's speaking a lot of sense. I sort of agree more with him, so we'll follow him. And in this world, we have people that change their religion, that have looked into their religious background, and maybe even, you know, and when they find things that they weren't too sure about, they change their religion. You know, we have Christians turn to Muslims, we have Muslims turn to Christians, we have umpteen people changing their views, changing their religion, and so rightfully so. And it's same with politics, you know. But and the same religion. I will always be a Catholic or Muslim or whatnot. I will always be, even though I can't really make a good argument why I should stay this way. I will convince myself, and I will try to convince others that I am right, and this is right path that everybody else should be choosing. Politics is the same thing. And it's like, and you'll have these people, you know, switching parties and politics and everything else. I mean, politics and religion, they go hand in hand. They use each other. They use religion and they use politics all in that, on all. And I've always said in the past that I quite like the Buddhism and stuff like that, because that's not telling you to believe it. It's not a, you know, okay, you can call it Buddhism as a religion, but the more times I see the people that do it and they talk about life in general, I think that's good attitude. I think that's what really we're wanting, really. Well, we're living in a world just now that we're questioning, you know, religion. We're questioning our governments. We're asking questions, and even though we're trying to obey the laws and stuff like that, and there's a lot of things that we disagree with, but we still change who we follow until it suits our own needs. And I often question, why can't we not just be ourselves? Why can we not just be a leader or a prophet or a messiah ourselves, and maybe we can set a better example for people? I mean, we won't dress ourselves up and run for government, you know. Who knows really how to deal with the actual people that run the government, the people in the in the background that, you know, is giving you money in order for you to accomplish what you need to do. Same goes with religion. You know, there are people behind there that have made these rules up, and they've been protecting so-called holy people for years and hiding the truth and everything else. And but again, we yearn to follow. We are, you know, the sheep, and we are being told to follow these small groups of people because we cannot stop and think for ourselves, which I think is a tragedy. Now you're out there probably cursing me for saying that, you know, but we find socially we're scared what people, and I made a video with this, what people think of us. So we follow the guidelines. We put on the masks. I ran into a couple of people, one in a carpet shop, one in a couch shop, and they're all talking about the book that was done years ago, 1914, It's not Orson Welles. It's a book that foretold what would happen is happening, and I've been hearing a lot of things that there's going to be a big awakening, and I would love that. I would love that idea to come in, that we change and we look for, because as I say, people we now have women ministers, women priests that we never had before. Why? Because the people demanded it. Because we demanded, what gives a woman less rights to be some sort of leader than a man. Again, politics, religion, Maggie Thatcher, was it Hillary Clinton could have been, and so we just, but people have decided this. Well, I love to think that people decided this. People decided that it was fine for gay marriages. Religion has to stop and rethink what it's actually wrote down thousands of years ago, because religion didn't have science back then, didn't have the technology, didn't know how. So when it didn't have the how we have been created, they made shit up. They made stuff up. So again, what people don't realise, and I'm talking about every religion in the world, whenever it was written. I'm not just talking about Christianity, I'm not just talking about Muslim or Hindu or what, I'm talking about the whole lot. It was written at a time when we knew very little, and it was there to help guide and lead us. And now, because of this, we are thinking for ourselves now. So why are we still needing leaders? Why? Maybe the leaders are the ones that cause all the trouble in the world today. It's and as I said, all these messiahs back then, have they existed? I'm not saying they did, I'm not saying they didn't, but I cannot say for certain that they did, and what I can't say for certain what they did. But what I can do is follow what I believe is closer to a better understanding of people, a better way to be nicer to humanity. And I find that in several other people that are not thought of as leaders or politicians and whatnot. I actually find them in people like Gandhi, people like Martin Luther King, great speakers. I find it in the idea of John F. Kennedy, even though he was killed. I find it in the most bizarre people like David Icke, who promotes that we're all bunch of energies and that he forgot religion. And most of the people I've spoke to who have talked to him have said that he's a brilliant, nice guy. Years ago that wouldn't be have said about him. So who do I follow? I follow no one but me, but I will listen to those people that I believe speaks for everyone on the planet, no matter what race, religion, sexual orientation, colour of skin or whatnot. If somebody can speak up for every single person, one of those, every poor man on the street and everything else, if they can speak to the highest regards of humanity and without forcing you to listen to them, without forcing you to tell them to follow you, but instead give you confidence that and instill in you that, you know, you do not need to follow. I just, growing up when I grew up, there was a song. There was a song, and "We Will Follow You." It's a football song and stuff like that. It's just nonsense. So, yeah. So that's my idea. You know, it's following people, following leaders, following so-called messiahs. It's I know why people follow leaders, politicians, and because they and religion, because for them these people promote that they, once you put them on that pedestal, can enrich your life, can better your life in some way. I'm talking politicians and religion. So all you need to do is just either by voting for them, going to the house and worshipping and listening to every word they say, or what you can do is take a good deep look into yourself and say, you know what, I'm alright. Catch you later. Thanks for listening.